The weather was cold today when we set out for the village. Extremely cold. My moccasins were wearing thin when I was walking. I had to bring my old ones because we're running out of hides to make clothing from. There was snow up to my ankles. I had to share my horse with my brother. The cold is worse now that we have stopped to make camp. When I stopped moving, my blood began to thicken. It feels like my blood is freezing inside of my body. The fire helped, but I tried to leave room for the older men. I know my 18-year-old body is much tougher than theirs. I keep telling myself that I am here to get justice from the white men for capturing my little sister. That is what keeps me going. We mean no harm to anyone, but we must defend our people. As I lay down for bed, I think of her kind face. I will get justice for her. Today was the day. I finally got some justice. I killed about 4 white men. They cannot get away with what they have done to my family. They just can't. I'm a person of peace, but I can't lie. Today I feel victorious after attacking the homes of these people. They are nothing but brutes, here to destroy our establishments. So today we destroyed theirs. The most interesting house was the Rowlandson house. They fought us the hardest. We even had to kill off their guard dogs. We had to stay there the longest. We fired our guns until a few were dead. Most of them were inside the house, though. We had to get them out, so the elder suggested that we burn down the house, and burn it we did. Finally, they started to come out. One by one, we shot them down. We took prisoners from that house, a very peculiar woman and her badly injured child. We have taken 20 or so prisoners from this village, but the woman fascinates me the most. She has a hatred in her eyes like I have never seen. As I lay here by the fire, she stares at me with a dark glare as she grips onto her declining child for dear life. We camped in the hills so that we could still see the village. We had such a celebration of our victory tonight. We ate like true warriors. I noticed the whole time I was dancing around the fire that the Rowlandson lady was looking at me. Not with just any look. She gave me a look of detestation like you've never seen. Her brow was furrowed, her arms crossed, and worst of all was the expression on her mouth. She sat there holding her motionless child, and I almost felt some sort of compassion for her. As I lay here tonight, I wonder what lies she believes about my people. We are a people at war now, but we are truly a people of love, compassion, and trust. I hope I can show her that during her time with us. Show her that we are not like her, and we show no judgments to those who are different. We went along the road home today. I let the woman's injured child ride on my horse. For some reason, she didn't like that too much. She took her down and carried her in her arms. I was a little perturbed at the sight. I wanted to tell her that there was no way her child was going to survive. Halfway through the journey, she fell down with exhaustion in the snow. I again offered my horse. She and the child got on. My act of kindness only caused her hateful face to get worse. She looked down from my horse as a vulture looks down at its prey. There truly was no way to make this woman see that while she was in captivity, we were people with the ability of compassion. I truly believe these people deserve all that we have given them, but that does not make what we are doing to one another okay. As we come down a steep hill in the woods today, the lady and her child were tossed from my horse. We natives find someone who cannot ride a horse quite humorous, so I laughed and laughed. The woman didn't find her situation as humorous as we did. She was greatly upset by her circumstances. After this happened, snow began to fall again, so we settled for the night. As my face feels the warm fire, I think about how the other prisoners are behaving. Each one of them is just thankful to be alive and very accepting of our small kindnesses to them. It's safe to say we took captive the most complicated woman in the village. We awoke as we always do with the sun. Today we traveled some more. The woman and her child rode on my horse with me so they wouldn't fall off again. Her child was worsening. I didn't think it would make it through the day, but it is night now and it still breathes. We gave them all we had in way of food and water. The woman seemed too unsatisfied to realize that we were giving her our best. I am relieved to be home, but I continue to watch the woman and her child. I hear they are trying to talk her into putting it down. There isn't a way for the child to live. I hate each day to see it suffer more for its own mother's selfish desire. I am starting to grow weary in my patience of trying to show this woman that we do not mean to harm her. I want her to see that her people were the ones who started this. I am happier than ever to be back in my village with my people, but I worry what these white men will take. Today the child passed away. After that wretched woman carried around, torturing it each day, finally it has met the peace of death. The time came for her child to pass tonight, and our whole village felt relief. I have heard my own mother talk of the hurt she has for any mother in distress. The woman wept for her child, and she wouldn't part from its body. It seemed as though the body was all she had in life. My feelings are that if one has nothing to live for, then that person must be doing something wrong. We finally coaxed her into leaving the body for long enough to sneak it to a grave. That child did not deserve to be carried around any more by its selfish mother, and I wouldn't stand for it one more minute. These white men talk of our kind as if we're all beasts, but all I've seen from this woman is monstrous behavior. During her time here, the woman has been under the care of Weedamoo, one of the most powerful women in our tribe. Other than basic servant tasks, she has had to do nothing. She has been more awful to her keeper than any master has ever been to a servant. It pains me to see how easily these white men can be cruel to anyone who differs from them. I truly fear what will happen if they conquer our population as they intend to do. Weedamoo lost her small child this morning. My initial thought was that the woman might finally be able to relate to one of our kind. Instead, she was brutal about the death of the child. She acted as if it were the death of an enemy. She laughed like a villain and stretched out by the fire, while her master has wailed all night long. This is it. She has to go. We have some other captives. Some are children. Today I saw her take food right out of their hands. I know we are low on food, but to take from children, especially the kind she holds so highly, what a wretch. This woman has done nothing but make my hatred for the white men grow. She cannot stay any longer. Even the chief agrees that as soon as the white men open up negotiations, she must go. She respects no one but herself. I have tired from watching her evil actions each day. The best punishment for the men we are at war against is to send this terrible human back to them. I will be overjoyed to see her leave.